Welcome to the Blaston Commentary Series or something. I am your host, Robo President. This is the series where we go ahead and we talk Blaston news. We critique my awful gameplay, mostly awful. Sometimes there's hints of genius in it, but it's mostly awful. And we go at it all unscripted, like it's how Dad did it. It's how his dad did it. It's how the Americans do it, because scripts are for simps. And we cover a wide variety of Blaston and VR-related topics. I think I already said that. This is the problem of doing things unscripted, you know? So for today's topics, I want to continue my crusade on player retention. Blaston is niche, right? We're going to say that word a lot. It's very niche. And with that caveat comes with, oh man, Turbo's really giving it to me. Sorry, I'm also watching this gameplay, and Turbo he just gave it to me really hard. This was my first game of the morning, so it's hard. Turbo sits at home, plays all day. I don't. I'm kidding, Turbo. Stop typing. Blaston's very niche, so that comes with it. It's kind of got it has a certain subset of fans that stick to it. And what you'll notice if you come and join the Blaston community server at any given point in time, this trend will often repeat itself. A new influx of players will come in and they'll go, "Is this game dead? Is this game dead? Where is everybody? I'm level 1500. I'm a champion. I'm basically the best there is, and I don't see anybody. Like, lol. Where's everyone at, right?" Not yesterday. Last episode, we talked about, what was it? We talked about how to deal with losing streaks, right? Because I have the opinion that losing streaks can sometimes turn people off. You come to video games as an escape, and so Blaston, when you're getting absolutely wrecked, you might leave, right? So I wanted to address how to deal with the idea of losing. I guess I couldn't reach his fist there. I wanted to talk about how to deal with losing and maybe keep you from running away if you're new to the game. But I now want to talk about is the game really dead? Let's talk about that clickbait idea. You hear this tossed around a lot in all kinds of games. Is Overwatch dead? Is Fortnite dying? Is it really? Is it the hour? Is it? Is it really happening? And I'm gonna be honest. Today's episode is gonna be a lot of conjecture, because do I have hardcore stats? No, I absolutely do not. I have none. I have almost no actual statistics at all, because we don't have numbers, and that's okay. That's totally fine. I'm not asking for any. But hopefully, in today's episode, we can put that myth to rest, because I want to show that proportionally for what Blaston is and the community and the niche market that Blaston appeals to, it is certainly not dead. And it has you can definitely find games. It just depends on time of day and the area you live in. Certain areas do get kind of screwed. My NA Pacific homies understand the most, because we are the last. We are the last of the time zones. We get the last pick of the litter. So, and we are sometimes the most numerous. You Euro bros have it good and you don't even realize it. Anyways, so let's talk a little bit about we're gonna kind of discuss this this concept of if Blaston is dead, and I think it's important to understand one. The obvious elephant in the room, which this point has been reiterated to death. We're talking about VR here, and this is such it's not caught on, guys. Like, most people still want to sit there and play Dino flat screen, and that's where the majority of gamers are at. I mean, I can't imagine most of you guys that have VR headsets are probably one of a few in your friend groups that actually have them or play them on a regular basis. If you do have a Quest or whatever you play your VR media on, you're probably, if you're watching this, you're probably one of the few that play Blaston regularly, but you're probably also, I would wager to guess, one of the few that play VR regularly, because most people don't. Most people that I know that have a Quest, they pick it up as kind of a seasonal, this is the new, they got it, it's cool, it's new, and then they put it down after a while and they never pick it up again. And they go back to their boring lives. And it does not stick. Why? I don't know. I don't know. That's beyond me. It's just different people, different strokes for different folks, as they say. I hate that saying, but that's what they say. Who says it? I don't know. But they do. So, at the end of the day, VR still has not, I would say, not gone totally mainstream, for one. So it's not an entirely fair comparison to compare it to the lobbies of your massive AAA titles where you have thousands and thousands of concurrent players at any given time. You need to take that into account. Because let's say, I don't know, Call of Duty, right? So, one of the most popular first-person shooter franchises on the planet, even the older ones, you can go find games because it's such an institution, but also because everybody and their mother has a PC or an Xbox or some dumb console, right? It's ubiquitous. But still, most people don't have VR headsets. So when you have, a couple hundred people playing Blaston, and remember, it's niche. VR has not gone completely mainstream. Do not let people gaslight you into saying that it has. It's getting there. I would say that Meta's push to the weird metaverse push, because let's be honest, like those of us that are serious about VR, it's super out of touch. I mean, come on. Like, we've been doing this for a while now, like, get out of our face. But I mean, to call something dead when the scale, like the per capita difference is totally different. It's just not fair. I don't think that's a fair comparison. So when Q has a few people in it and you're getting a few games, like, that doesn't mean the game's dead, guys. Remember the scaling. That's first point I want to make. Second point. When it comes to, man, why did I pause for so long? It's been a long day. I think I was just enamored with Frida the pug. Do you guys ever wonder, like, what his pug looks like? I think, has he ever shown that before? Has Frida ever been face revealed? Has that happened? I don't know. I'm pretty sure Frida. It's probably Frida's profile picture. I'm like 90% certain. We're having a really good Viper gameplay there. Anyways, I'm going way too off base, talking about pugs and Frida the pug. I played Frida the pug a lot today. You're gonna see a lot of Frida the pug. You're gonna see Turbo come back in, and then maybe Captain Fab might make a reappearance. I'm gonna try to redeem myself from my losing streak the other night. Anyways, so next point when we're talking about, like, is Blaston dead? Just look at the Discord. And the Discord does go through periods of inactivity, but I wouldn't call that a dead Discord. I don't know. It doesn't seem dead to me. I've seen dead Discords. I run a dead Discord, guys. Like, come on. It's not dead. The other thing, too, and I want to direct this comment to, this particular, this line of thought to new players. And this is something, this is not necessarily a fault of the game in and of itself, I think. I think this is just a fault of well, I don't know. Let me just explain and then you'll see what I mean. So it's no secret that Blaston has a hardcore fan base. And a lot of us have been playing Blaston for more than a year now. And so a lot of us have moved into the Overlord ranks. This may seem like standard news for most of us that have been a part of the Blaston community now, but maybe those of you watching don't know this. So with that, if you aren't in the what they call the Overlord rank, which is the highest LP rank that you can get to, that's 2000 LP, then you won't match with where most of the player base is, because most of the player base tends to be at that level. So if you're new to the game, that's not where everyone is. Everyone kind of left you behind, and it's kind of weird. So we haven't had like an influx of new players to meet you if you're just showing up now. Now, how do we fix that? Well, I mean, there's bots. You usually see this get touted in the Discord a lot, like grind bots. Is that the most fun solution in the world? I don't think so, to be honest. And it's not like we can't just pair you with people at the higher skill levels, because you'll get grinded to dust if you're not at an Overlord rank, because you are not on that same level. Remember my comment about no one cares you're taking out bots, right? That rings true. So, oh man, I don't know what happened there. I stepped out of bounds. So just remember, if you're thinking the game is dead, you just bought it, you're not getting any matches. This game is I'm gonna make a comparison here. Did any of you guys play Titanfall 2, most underrated first-person shooter of 2017? Right. And Titanfall 2 had the misfortune. It had the misfortune of coming out right between Battlefield 1 and what was it? Call of Duty Infinite Warfare, I think, that also everyone hated. And when I say Titanfall 2, I know I talk a lot about TF2 sometimes in the Discord. I'm not talking about Team Fortress 2. I am talking about Titanfall 2 this time. So Titanfall 2 was an excellent game. Absolutely excellent. Excellent campaign. Excellent multiplayer. Excellent game mechanics. I loved it. I absolutely loved it. But it had a problem. Nobody bought it because they all went to the other mainstream garbage. Nobody saw the genius. Oh, I dropped something. So nobody saw the genius of Titanfall 2. And what ended up happening is the hardcore people stuck it out because they loved it, like myself, and we all got really good. And then you had a player population of like 3,000 concurrent players at any given time, which is quite small for a mainstream AAA first-person shooter title. And then the game got super prohibitively skill capped to anybody who was brand new, because we were all hopping around on that crazy bunny hop, skill mechanics, just absolutely wrecking people with our, what are the 50 cal sniper rifle thing was at the time, and bouncing it off the walls. And then everybody was an absolute god with whatever Titan they had spent all those hours in, because there was just 3,000 of us. And in fact, I can remember the community was so small, it was a lot like Blaston, where you would just get people in lobbies like, oh, I remember that guy. That doesn't really happen in AAA shooters a lot. And it just, because the game was niche, and the game, I think, truly died when they had problems with hackers and the dev team kind of moved on and whatever. Blaston's never going to have that problem because it's VR. I don't know how VR would have a problem with hackers. If you had an aimbot in a VR headset, you would absolutely throw up. Can you imagine being locked onto a target and then not being able to move your head around? Most sickening experience of all time. I don't know how you would do it. Anyways. So the comparison I'm trying to make here is that Blaston's in a similar boat to Titanfall 2. Excellent game with excellent mechanics. Just, for whatever reason, one or another. Maybe it was the pandemic. I don't know. And VR actually had a big part to play in getting people not bored during the pandemic, because Blaston came out in 2020. And what was it, late 2020, I believe? And that was, peak pandemic time. So, I don't know. But, whatever. Anyways, next point. Let's talk about resolution games a little bit. Because if a game is dead, you want to look at the studio and see, where's the health of the studio, because the health of a studio can help you determine and help you inform, is a game dead? Are they providing updates? Is it active? Are they actively talking about it? That will give us some idea of where the game's at. And for one, from what I've seen, the game talked about from our community manager. Here I go for my nightly simp plugin for Defer. He still actively plugs Blaston content on a lot of platforms. Reddit, I'm pretty sure Twitter. I don't go to Twitter. It's a very scary place, but I'm pretty sure he's probably posting stuff there. And Discord. So that doesn't seem too dead to me. And not to mention that I did some snooping on I totally missed that Viper shot. Did some snooping on Resolution Games' like quarterly or yearly earnings, and year over year, Resolution Games has been doing like better year over year, and not just like a little bit better. They've expanded a lot, and that's evidenced by their recent expansion to their Austin, Texas location. Right? A company doesn't just open a headquarters in a different country because something's not going well. Like, they're doing well. It's like, come on, guys. Now, does that necessarily mean that Blaston is this great success? Well, no, that it's not an apples to oranges comparison, but come on. Like, Resolution Games is doing fine. It's not like with Overwatch, with their player population declining. Overwatch certainly not dead, but Blizzard was going through a litany of problems and scandals, and it wasn't looking good. And now they're having to completely just remake the game with a different skin and calling it a sequel. So I don't know. I mean, take that as you will. So Resolution is doing great year over year, increasing their profits as a company, opening new locations internationally, and I think they've also hired more employees. They've got like 100 over almost 150 is where they're at. That's numbers online. I'm sure that's probably not accurate. Probably they might even have more. So yeah, I think that as far as company health goes, that's a good sign for Blaston as well. And online presence is still going strong. And this game is almost 2 years old now for a VR game on a niche platform, on a niche headset. So, yeah, I'd say that's a win. I don't know about you guys. Absolute win. Personally. Anyways. So, as for this topic, because I think this is a longer episode. We're going to cover a multitude of topics as I scramble to figure out in the machinations of my mind what we're going to talk about today. Is Blaston dead? No. If you're going to show up in the Discord and go like, where's everyone at? It's not gone, guys. There's literally nothing in the VR catalog that offers anything similar. So when you look at other first-person shooters, your locomotion is usually restricted to one or two things. You have to use, thumbsticks to move, so you don't have real locomotion of your legs. Or you use teleporting, which freaking sucks. Nobody likes it, unless, sorry, Ultimex. I didn't mean it. I didn't mean it, Ultimex. No, don't look at me. No. I'm sure Ultimex will be great. I've never been a fan of teleporting, but if I believe anyone can make it work, I think Resolution can make it work, because I was a fan of hyper-realistic stuff. That's not entirely true. I guess in the VR space I was before Blaston. But anyways, So you get full body control. I don't know of any other VR games that give you full body control in a multiplayer PvP setting. You usually have to there's some kind of limitation. And so, like, as far as immersion goes, I think Blaston is the most immersive VR game for, as far as like getting full control of my body at the moment. And I don't think there's anything else that comes close. And that's a good thing. So as long as Resolution corners that market and keeps developing Blaston and keeps working on that, there will be a place for Blaston and it won't die. I mean, that's the truth, period. Especially with us dedicated fans who know that Blaston works very well as a workout tool because of this, because it works out your whole body. I'm not standing there like a doofus in the living room, you know, like a Half-Life 2 NPC with my legs stuck in the T-pose position, moving around with my thumbsticks in VR, right? Like, I'm moving my whole body. And I have my quads are from God now. And it's because of Blaston. So, yeah, I don't know. That doesn't mean, I don't think Blaston's going to die. I think, what is it? What's another game? I'm trying to think of any games that would be similar. I didn't really play Echo VR. I think you use your thumbsticks for that, right? Maybe? I don't know. I don't know. The Echo VR guys, come read me now. Come do it. Because I don't play your freaking game. Anyways. So, in conclusion, Blaston dead? No. Nope. Nope. No. Zip. Nope. No. Not dead. Go away now. It's not dead. Anyways, next. Okay, next topic. So let's get away from player retention. Let's talk a little bit about something more fun. So you might have noticed today in today's video, I've been using the Viper, and I don't really ever use the Viper. You will seldom see me use the Viper. In fact, I just switched away from it. And I am curious to know what you guys think about one-tricking in Blaston. Because in Blaston, you're creating your loadout, right? And so in essence, as players are building their own play styles, because you use your full body as locomotion, players sort of create their own class, so to speak, if that makes sense, right? And and people will try to emulate that once they see what works and what doesn't. But do you guys think that one tricking is a good thing? Do you think do you care? Do you care if people one trick? Do you think it's good that people use a variety? Do you find it more skillful when you see a player that is good with a variety of weapons? Personally, like, I try to branch out. I think this video series is going to I'm going to try my best to step outside of the box. Viper is something that I've always traditionally struggled with. Personally, at least I felt that I've struggled with it. I think in real life, it kind of goes against my sensibilities of what a gun should do, because I don't really, swing it around like that. So it just doesn't really flow with what my natural proclivities are. But I don't know. When I see people, because I think there are some cases where I think one tricking is sometimes symptomatic of a couple things. So when someone finds something that works for them, it can mean two things. So it can either be benign or most of the time it's benign. So they just found something that works for them, and that's a good thing. So if you find something that works for you, then it works for you. Like, I can't fault you for that. That's good. But sometimes, rarely, one tricking can be symptomatic of a just slight balance issue. So maybe the player found something that works for them, but that's because there is a systemic issue slightly with balance somewhere. Maybe it's our friend, the Bounce Luma, with its crazy collision. You're going to see that later this episode. I intentionally bring Bounce Luma along because its collision counters the goofy Tank Nova, because Tank Nova is also goofy. Both Bounce Luma, I've already talked about this. I think that was episode 1 or no, it was episode 2. This commentary series, both Bounce Luma and Tank Nova both need tweaking, because Tank Nova is basically double shield, and Bounce Luma is like just the shield eliminator. Like, what the heck? So, like if someone's going to a one trick or something like that, that can be symptomatic of a balance issue sometimes. So I don't know. Just something to think about. I'm not so I guess I'm not really worried about it. I'm just curious to see what you guys think. So maybe in the comments, tell me what you think. Give me those details. Hit me up on Discord. Blow me up. Tell me I'm stupid. Tell me I'm complaining. It's objectively funny for 30 minutes that this is complaining for some reason. That somehow me just talking is complaining. So whatever you want. All right, let's talk gameplay. So here we go. We've got Turbo the Viper Master. My dodging was not enough for Turbo. He completely shut me down right there. I can see that Turbo's been playing a lot recently. He goes through cycles. One thing about Turbo is his power level is highly dependent on game time. It's nuts. I don't think there's another player in the meta who his strength ebbs and flows with playtime more than Turbo. It's nuts. If Turbo doesn't get the practice in, his power levels will sink. It's crazy. But then if he sits there, and he does, I'm just, I do IT in real life, and supposedly Turbo does as well. But I work 10 hours a day. I don't know how many hours a day Turbo works. He gets, I think he gets more playtime in than I do. But because I'm in Burger Town. I think in the UK they might have shorter work days somewhere for something. I don't know. So when he gets in these periods where he gets the playtime in, it's nuts how his skill will change, and that's apparent right now. I have this huge backlog of footage that I have to sift through. The Quest does a really poor job of categorizing. I wish I could change how the Quest would name footage when I save it, or when it saves it, so that way I would know when. It just have a better idea of when footage was named. But I mean, earlier this same season, when Turbo was first playing, and he hadn't played a lot, I was getting some wins off him. And then now, when he's got the playtime in, he's a whole different beast. It's crazy. The ebbing and the flow, it's like he's like Superman with getting power from the sun. It's weird. It's wild. So that's a compliment, by the way, Turbo. You get your power from playtime. I don't know. It's just weird. I don't really know how to describe it. Me, I don't know. I mean, I've already said in the past that there's generally a correlation between playtime and wins for most players. I mean, that's the general correlation. You put in the work, you get the benefits. But I don't get it like you do, and I don't really see a lot of players get that the same. So, and a lot of players also won't recede the same either when they don't play for any amount of time like he does. So I don't know. I have no idea how to explain it. It's just weird. Anyways, so we got Frida the Pug back again. So I have ditched the Viper. I have gone back to a traditional clamping build using the Aegis this time. I just I guess I wanted to run Aegis instead of Raptor E like I would normally do. I know I'm going against my no shield principle from a few episodes back, but I just wanted to give it a shot and see if that would help. I think I start to realize that the extra offense would help, so I'll eventually go back to the extra offense. Now, something I've been noticing that's been happening a lot today is I've been stepping out of bounds a lot, and I don't mean to. So I don't know if this is another one of those, I need to calibrate my quest again, or we need to have a talk about out of bounds damage, because out of bounds damage is whack. Whack, guys. If I could say anything, and it's been said that out of bounds damage is like the 10th most damaging thing in all of the all Blaston damage types. Just make it exponential based on distance away from podium, and you can make the increments very unforgiving, right? So, but the point is, like, a little misstep gets a slight, like, it's like a slight love tap, but it's not going to end your whole match. So that way people can't bum rush the podium, because they'll still take a ton of damage if they try to podium rush. But usually that way, you know, if you're dodging out of a situation where if your head hitbox clips out, it's not the end of the game. I think most people would agree that would be nice. But just a suggestion, if it's possible to code. If it's not possible to code, then I guess you know, F me then. Whatever. So, back to gameplay with Mr. Free the Pug. So, ooh, excellent Viper shot there. He takes the round. You'll notice there too. So I think I tried to drop block and then or dodge it, but he caught me right in the head. So it was a really good shot. I think by this point in the day, because I've been playing for a while now, I'm starting to get a little winded, and he knows it. He knows it. He's going for the kill. He wants that W. I've been bullying him for too long, and he wants the win. He gets me in the hand too. He's gotten a couple of those hand taps in so far. This particular match, he's aiming for the hand. If you are a sufficient enough Viper player, if you can time those hand shots, it's a decent strategy. Especially if your opponent is not a great drop blocker. But I wouldn't rely on it, because, I mean, I'll try to drop block, but it's not a bad idea. So, oh, there we go. I kind of sandwiched him there. No, sorry, Pug. Didn't mean to, you know, take the snatch victory from you there. But something I'll do instead of clamping sometimes, you'll notice this, is if I notice that my opponent is actually a decent clamp dodger, but they have poor you know, projectile management, so maybe they just get around my clamps somehow, I'll usually take my 2 shotties, and then I'll just kind of form a wall, and then I'll use the Wildcat to spray and fill in the gaps. Kind of a really cheap solution to get consistent damage in. But remember, consistent damage is better than no damage. You want consistent damage. That's how I'm able to close this gap here. You'll see it again. Just step in, get some consistent damage, and end the match. And there it is. Bada bing, bada boom. So, you did well, though, Mr. Pug. You did well. All right, so let's see what I'm going to do here. Let me swap it up a little bit. We're going to go for... Oh, I remember now. I think as my match with Turbo, he was using Tank Novas while I was ranting, if I'm not mistaken. No. That's coming up. You're about to see me lose. So I decided to go for the Snowball. I think I just wanted to reduce my cooldown a little bit. I just wanted to try something different. You know, why not? Have some fun. I like this. I like Snowball 3 because people drop block my snowballs all the freaking time. It's so annoying. My snowballs get drop blocked more than anything. So I would rather take the slight speed debuff personally, because I have pretty good accuracy with my snowballs. And generally the way I'll try to use them is like I'll try to entrap people with them. So whatever. But it won't matter in this next match anyway, so I'll give you a spoiler alert, because we'll end up with Turbo. But Let's see here. So dancing around, looking up at the ceiling, left and right, thinking about life. As you know, these things go. Thinking about leaving queue. I'm sure you guys do the same thing. You'll sit in like this and you'll hit the cancel button and go back. Anyone else do that? Cancel, go back, cancel, go back. Yeah. I can't be the only one. I surely I cannot be the only one. Okay. Well, I don't know. I'm also fairly certain that probably resets your position in the queue. So, oh, there I go. I did it. Cancel, reset. Back in the queue. Looking around. I swear the game's not dead, guys. We just had a whole conversation about it. It's alive. It's alive. Look, proof. There is proof today. It lives. I think there was maybe we could talk about some of the Blaston in the lull of content here at the moment. There was a news blast today by Defer Steam Summer Sale. Yeah, so if you are a Steam user, Blaston is 33% off for the Steam Summer Sale, so go buy it. And they alluded to future updates. As they said, when they're quiet, things are cooking. So that is always a good sign. All right, we've got Turbo back again with his bunny skin. The furry master himself. No, just kidding, he's not a furry. I don't know. Okay. So, now, he's rocking the Tank Nova. I was not prepared for this. I was thinking that Turbo was just going to keep using the same thing, and he did not. And so, Snowball was not what I wanted for this. Tank Nova is extremely advantageous against what I would call, like, piercing offense. So, things like Snowballs, Vipers, and bows, Luma projectiles aside from the obvious, the bounce one, like really strong piercing offense that you want to strike an opponent with, the Nova will just shut you down. You don't want your opponent to be using a Nova, so this was not what I wanted. So I already knew that this was not good. So it was kind of meh. I was like, okay, well, that's kind of it for that, I guess. So, trying to salvage the situation, but it wasn't looking great. I got a snowball hit in there, but he pinned me with the laser and majestic nade. Good old majestic nade. So, heading back, we're gonna try to set up a clamp. We're going for the wall. The wall. Yes. It won't be enough though, because he'll just pop his Novas. And I mean, I knew that going in. I kind of knew that this was busted because there was really nothing I had that could take out those Tank Novas other than clamping around them. But Turbo's of a sufficient skill level that it just wasn't enough. I needed something to help kill those Tank Novas so I could focus just more on Turbo without worrying about the Tank Novas, because Turbo would be just smart enough to focus more on me. And you'll see that I will eventually switch to a counter for the Tank Novas, but I won't get him again. So it won't matter against him, but it'll matter against somebody else. So I sacrificed a nade because I just didn't want to get shot. Trying to stay alive, staying alive. And it's back! That is why Tank Nova is so strong. This is why it's way worse than Double Shield ever was. And you'll see that I kind of go, like, I keep trying to grab weapons. For some reason, I wasn't getting them. So I was kind of like, what the heck, dude? My guns, I can't get them. They're not sticky. But Tank Nova, dude, like, it's way stronger than Double Shield ever was because you can just deploy them and then they're back. And then you just sit behind them like a mobile bunker wall. So just crazy. And they don't get half the hate that Double Shield did. Anyways, so okay, we're trying to. I'm just at this point. I'm trying to get some quick, fast offense in. That Raptor E is not doing me any favors. And I know I'm already, like, being up front with the Turbo E with Turbo when he has the Viper E like that is just not a good idea. And he immediately takes me to task on it. He controls the front of the podium when he has the Viper. Reaching out. Got it. So I knew that the primary problem with the build immediately was the Tank Novas. So if he was going to use the crazy Tank Novas, which I think are kind of broken, I was going to return in kind with the broken freaking stupid bow. But unfortunately, I would not get Turbo again. My wrath would be taken out on an innocent, tall, and very fabulous man. Extremely fabulous, in fact. One of the most fabulous men in the European, well, I don't know which country he's in at the moment. Maybe he's somewhere, he might still be in the European Union right now. I don't know. He's in Portugal now, I think. But the extremely fabulous, the magnanimous, the magnificent, sometimes a little bit stinky. Let's see, come out on stage. It's your cue. Say, get out here. Oh gosh, Q has betrayed me. I swear the game's not dead, guys. I promise. It's Captain Fab, okay? Spoilers, it's Fab. Fab gets the Luma. He gets it to the face. It's still good games, though. It's really good games, but I guess the final we've got about 10 minutes of gameplay left. So I'm gonna make a final point about Bounce Luma, because I used Bounce Luma in this use case to directly counter Tank Nova. That was the only reason it was in my build. Both of these weapons need tweaking, but I mean Tank Nova and Bounce Luma, they both need it. Bounce Luma needs its collision fixed for sure. Like, there's no reason why it should be able to pop Tank Novas. Like, it's just not a thing. At the same time, Tank Novas are just kind of too strong. Like, each one is its own little shield. Like, that's like having 3 shields on deck for the price of 7 CD. So, I don't know. Like, there's just probably a better way to do that. And remember the philosophy, right? It's your weapon should have, it can be versatile, but it can't go too far in any 2 directions on the Blaston weapon class scale, that being offense, defense, or utility/trapping. And Nova is a utility/trapping weapon first. That's its primary function first, and defense second. But what ends up happening when you put the tank attachment on it, it becomes defense first. But it still has really strong trapping. And that's the problem. So, now with the Bounce Luma, I get 4 CD to cancel out defense. And then I can still hit you in the back for 14. So just, I mean, simply put, that's like, come on. Look at that. Like, there goes his entire setup. And he knows it too. He's like, bruh. I'm sorry, Fab. I didn't mean to do this. I was going after Turbo. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. But it was self-defense. I was in fear of my life. When you see this, I hope you understand. You'll understand the sequence of events. I will say, man, Fab's curb stuff is pretty good though. He's better than me at it. He's not 24 level, but he's certainly way better than me. So he goes, and then I just go grab this, stupid bow, and then pop, pop, pop. There they go. Okay, and then time to set up. Going for the the clamp shots and then wildcat. And look, it's already back, dude. That's crazy. It's already back. And then that's why I need this. Pop, pop, pop. Like, that's all you can do. It comes back so fast. Even for 7 CD. Like, that thing's already back. It's nutty. And it's already back. It just won't stop. It can't be bargained with. It can't be reasoned with. It doesn't feel pity or remorse or fear. It absolutely will not stop ever until it's in your freaking podium and you take 20 damage and you can't get, it's in your face. So, yeah, Tank Nova, HP, proper name, sorry, the politically correct name. HP Nova and Bounce Luma both need tweaking. And I think the devs recognize that. They both mentioned this. Well, okay, so we're going in with a good clamp, got some good damage there. Fab's he had some interesting, he keeps trying this interesting move where he'll try to front podium pop me with the hammer E. I don't think I've ever seen anyone do that. I think that's only really possible because of his immense height. I don't think anyone short would ever be able to do that, ever, in the history of ever, for anything. So, yeah, is this another tall person bad conspiracy? You know, I don't know. Is it? Are tall people the bane of Blaston? No. I just, that's a skill that he can. He tries it a couple times. He doesn't land it, but I'm sure that if he was using, what was it, charge hammer, oh, he could definitely land one on me for sure. I have no doubts about that. He could for sure hit me with a charge hammer E if I stepped out of line and he wanted to hit me with a pop up front. So, okay, let's see. So I think I keep going in and out, and in and out, and in and out. Okay, Captain Fab once again, and he's like, ah, crap, here comes this stupid bow. I'm sorry, Fab. And he goes right out of the gate with the Luma. That's one of the absolute strongest points of actually any Luma in general, is ambushing. The Luma is an ambush weapon. You can just out of the gate, if you get an early spawn on Luma, you can get a lot of damage real quick, and you'll see that happen a couple times over the course of our games. He gets some early damage on really quick because I look away for 2 seconds to grab a weapon. He already had his hand on the Luma, and he can get 40 damage, or even I don't think he gets 60, but he gets really strong damage and really quick because I just looked the wrong way for just a few seconds. So I'm going in that shield, saving him from a lot of damage there. I know JJ's going, shield good, shield good, shield good. I can see it. I saw it. He smirked. Oh, slow hammer nades. You know, raining lots of small pellets. And then that was so close, but that's and then once again, you know, there was an ambush right there on my end with the Bounce Luma, because even though the Bounce Luma, you know, you try, I still think the Bounce Luma, like, you still try to get direct impacts with it. You're just gonna get less damage. It's more forgiving if you miss, and that's what I did there. I had my opportunity to get a quick ambush in, and I took a step forward and immediately, you know, took that round and tried to take it back. So right there, you know, oh man, that Luma curve. Oh my goodness. Excellent shot placement. So it's looking like Fab has a pretty strong lead this time. I don't really know how I'm going to pull this one off. I'm going to try setting it up here with some hammer spam, and then we're going to try to bounce some shots here. And then there's that super cheap bounce action. All right, so we get those misses in, and then we go in and see, look, and that's what I'm talking about, guys, with Bounce Luma. And I don't think that people realize this, is that consistent damage can really change the tide of a match. I was on the losing end of that particular round right there. And so all Fab needed to do was to get his hands on a weapon and start his attack pattern. And he probably could have taken the match from me. But because I was able to do damage on that bounce return, Then I was able to that like half second gave me enough time to start my attack pattern and finish the round. And it was all because I missed. But had I been using any of the other Luma attachments, it probably would not have been. I wouldn't probably have gotten that opportunity. So just remember that when it comes to the bounce stuff. Bounce good, but I mean good in terms of like it probably too good. You know what I mean? So needs fix. Ooga booga. So starting out again there with another quick damage thing. Going in for the, one thing I realized as I was playing Captain Fab, so with tall players, sometimes you can exploit their height with that wall of bullets maneuver that I'll do. So I'll attempt to just spam hammer shots from both of my hammers as much as possible because they have to crouch. And then I'll just come in and hold pressure with Wildcat and then end that round. And it sometimes works. Unless if they have shields, they can easily get through that. That's an easy maneuver to get through. If they're running, if they're really shield happy, then I suppose they can get through that. Or if they're running Novas. In this case, he wasn't because he knew that I would pop them. But so going in for some Raptor action, and then let's see what he's got. Oh. The curve terrifies the crap out of me. So, man, that oh gosh, so much. As in the wise words of Dr. Oolong, that's a lot of damage. Fab's clamping skills have gotten so good in the past season, and not the past season. And that was some crazy damage he just got, where he really came out on top that particular engagement. Just that matchup, right? Not the match. I mean, he's about to win the match. He just won the match right there, but I'm sorry, the round. But that engagement between us, he just did a ton of damage from that shot placement. When he gets that clamp going, and then he also does the Raptor E Wildcat follow-up very well. So he goes for it's just one of his strengths. All right, so he went for the Luma ambush, but I was able to, I think I took one to the shoulder, actually. But let's see what I go for. And, see, now I go for my own Luma ambush. All three land. That's going to give me a wide lead. And he knows it. He absolutely knows it. And that, I think, is absolutely one of the, he's going back for another Luma ambush. Is one of the, absolutely the strongest points about Luma. Just step forward and catch him by surprise. Give him the L. Oh, see, look, there's that crazy extendo arm action out of Fab with the crazy lanky arms. So, but look, that's all I got for today. Thanks for hanging around and talking with me about if Blaston's dead, talking about Lumas and Tank Novas and all kinds of other things. It was a great hour or so. I'm sure everyone fell asleep. Thank you so much. Be sure to like, favorite, subscribe, or not. I don't really care, but I do appreciate you watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. Catch y'all later.